Thomas lived in a busy kingdom. People hurried to and fro. Shops lined the streets. There was always something to see.
But I always stopped to help.
He gave his lunch to a hungry man. He helped an old woman cross the street. Thomas cared for others. Thomas walked among the pumpkins. He touched their smooth skin. He felt a strange energy. One pumpkin in particular caught his eye. It was the biggest pumpkin he had ever seen. It shimmered with a golden light.
Wow, this one is really special.
Thomas cautiously approached the glowing pumpkin. As he got closer, the pumpkin started to shake. It pulsed with a soft, warm light. Thomas felt a mixture of fear and excitement. He knew something magical was about to happen. With a burst of golden light, the pumpkin split open. Standing before Thomas was a beautiful woman. She wore a long, flowing gown and a pointed hat. A warm smile lit up her face.
Hello, Thomas. I'm the Good Witch of the Pumpkin Patch.
Thomas was astonished. He had only heard stories about witches.
How do you know my name?
I know all about you, Thomas. You have a kind heart. You help those in need. This pumpkin is a reward for your kindness.
The pumpkin transformed before Thomas's eyes. It grew into a magnificent carriage. It was pulled by 4 white horses. The carriage shimmered with the same golden light as the pumpkin.
This carriage is magical, Thomas. It will take you wherever you wish to go. Use it wisely and always be kind.
Thomas was overwhelmed with joy. He thanked the Good Witch and climbed into the carriage. He held the reins tightly. The horses soared into the sky, leaving the familiar kingdom behind. Thomas was ready for an adventure. Section 5, The Enchanted Forest and Beyond. The magical carriage took Thomas to wondrous places.
I flew over mountains that touched the clouds. I sailed across oceans filled with sparkling creatures. I even journeyed through an enchanted forest where trees whispered secrets to the wind.
Everywhere he went, Thomas met new and interesting people. He met a lonely giant who longed for a friend. He played music with singing fairies. He even shared tea with a wise old dragon. Thomas learned so much from his travels. He discovered that the world was a vast and magical place. Section 6. A cry for help. One day, while flying high above the land, Thomas heard a desperate cry.
It was a small bird trapped in a hunter's net. I quickly guided the carriage towards the sound and carefully freed the bird from its trap.
The grateful bird chirped happily and soared into the sky. As Thomas continued his journey, he noticed something strange. The once vibrant lands below were dry and barren. The rivers had dwindled to trickles. The crops withered in the fields. A wave of sadness washed over Thomas. He knew he had to help. Section 7. The Search for the Magical Spring. Thomas soon learned that his own kingdom was suffering from a terrible drought. The king had promised a reward to anyone who could find a solution, but no one had succeeded.
I knew I had to use the magical carriage to help my people. I remembered a story my grandfather had once told me. It was a legend about a hidden spring with magical waters.
According to the legend, this spring held the power to restore life to the land, but it was said to be located deep within a dangerous forest, guarded by mythical creatures. Thomas, determined to save his kingdom, set off on a new adventure to find the magical spring. The journey to the magical spring was fraught with peril. Thomas faced treacherous ravines and dense, thorny forests. He outsmarted mischievous imps and calmed the anger of a grumpy troll.
Through it all, I remained courageous and kind, using my wits and compassion to overcome each obstacle.
Finally, after many days, Thomas found it, the magical spring. It shimmered under the moonlight, its water sparkling with an otherworldly glow. Thomas carefully collected the magical water in a crystal vial, his heart filled with hope for his kingdom. Thomas returned to his kingdom a hero. The king was overjoyed to see the magical water.
Thomas, you have saved us. Please accept gold and jewels and a grand castle of your own.
Thank you, Your Majesty, but I don't need rewards. I'm just happy to help.
The king used the magical water to save the kingdom. Rain fell from the sky, the rivers flowed again, the crops flourished in the fields. The people cheered for Thomas. They called him their savior. But Thomas knew the real magic was kindness. Thomas continued to travel in his magical carriage. He helped those in need wherever he went. He rescued lost children. He delivered food to the hungry. He brought joy to everyone he met.
Helping others is the greatest reward of all. It fills my heart with more happiness than any treasure.
The magical carriage was a gift, but Thomas's kindness was his own. It shone brighter than any magic. He showed everyone that even small acts of kindness could make a big difference. And that was the most magical thing of all. Word of Thomas's kindness spread far and wide. People started calling him the Kind Traveler. He became a symbol of hope.
Magic isn't just about spells and potions, it's about the good you do in the world.
And Thomas, the Kind Traveler, was proof that even the smallest act of kindness could change the world. The story of Thomas reminds us that kindness is a magical power we all possess. It has the power to heal, to inspire, and to bring joy to others. Like Thomas, let us all strive to be kind travelers in the journey of life.